Okay, Bill, Grant.
Definitely class of viewer and
The thinking man station.
Right.
And what a week it has been for Cork. As a result of the disciplinary action, there's no Donald O'Cusick, no Rock and no Sean Oak. There is John Gardner, however, who joins Ronan Curran and Championship debutant Kevin Hartnett in a new look half-back line. Goalkeeper Anthony Nash from Kanturk gets his big break, while Shane O'Neill will be equally anxious to impress in his first ever appearance for Cork in the Championship. Elsewhere, it's normal service with Jerry O'Connor and Tom Kenny at midfield, Niall McCarthy at 11, with Ben O'Connor and Joe Dean in the corners. The National League champions look strong in every department, from goalkeeper Clinton Hennessy to John Milan at top of the left. One change to the team that won the league by beating Kilkenny. Paul Flynn starts at full forward to the exclusion of Shane Welsh. Aidan Carney makes his championship debut at wing back and completes the most impressive line of the Déisi selection, beside Tony Brown and the great Ken McGrath.
Now back here in studio, we have changed analysts on the Sunday Game Live. Right now we're joined by Cyril Farrell and Tomás Mulcahy. Tom, looking at Cork in the team photo, it's a long time since I saw them without Dunlogue, Sean O'G, Sully and that. Will it affect them, what's happened?
I mean, Michael, if we had the full complement of players, I think still Waterford were going to be our favourites credit Waterford on the basis of their league performance. The job is made harder, certainly, without the quality of those players in your team. But I must say, the team was picked early this week. I mean, the three guys that are coming in knew from early on that they were going to be in the team. And I believe, whatever happened at the tribunal last night, or the DRA and stuff like that, the same team was going to start today, you know. So they have confidence in the guys that are there, they have confidence in those ability. And Michael, there's no point incarnate 28 or 29 man squad. You must have strength and depth on the bench, and these guys are getting their chance. It's a big opportunity for them.
One thing that's absolutely definite, Cyril Farrell, is there's an incredible atmosphere here at Semple Stadium for this game.
Unbelievable, like it reminds you of a Munster final, but I think it's nearly a legacy from last night. Last night you had a great contest, and there's that atmosphere is there since last night, and it's fantastic downtown. Both sets of supporters together, all having burgers and everything else, and pints of milk and water, and they're having along with that. But like, but like it's great here, and as Tomás says, there's actually pressure on Waterford. Okay, there probably will be favourites coming in, but with the three Cork stars missing, there's an expectancy within the Waterford. I mean, the supporters say, well, we should win it now anyway, and that brings its own pressure. Win it, Cyril? Well, there will be favourites, but after saying that, I would feel like that Cork would probably circle the wagons. As Tomás said, they probably knew they weren't going to have the three boys. Even if they had itself, they were going to play them as subs, and like they'd be trying to say it's all them against us. You'd have to say that Waterford are favourites, but like with these Cork players, anything could happen.
Okay, let's go back to the commentary box right now and join Marty Morrissey and Michael Dignan.
Thank you very much, Michael. Good afternoon and welcome to Semple Stadium in Thurles, where over 40,000 people are crammed in here to this wonderful venue here in County Tipperary. It's been a hurling festival here this weekend in Tipperary after the draw last night. Again, the first replay, the second replay taking place next weekend. Cork and Waterford battling for the 8th championship clash since 1999. And they've met every year since 2002 and of course twice in 2005. It's time to pause momentarily for our own Vian. It's a sea of colour, red and white. The chairman of the Cork County Board asked the Cork supporters to come out under the circumstances when Dunlogue would be missing, Timothy O'Sullivan would be missing, and of course Sean O'G was absent as well because of what happened on May 27. It really is a cauldron of atmosphere here, and we're looking forward to an exciting Munster Championship semi-final. It's Cork against Waterford. Joining me with Michael Dignan, we'll get his thoughts in a moment. Barry Kelly is the match referee from Oliver Plunkett's club in Mullingar, refereed the All-Ireland final last year. The second of the Munster hurling semi-finals underway. We can't tell you yet who's going to be the winner of the first, but we might just get an answer here as John Milan gets the first attempt at a score and sends it over the bar at less than 15 seconds, 13 seconds to be precise, and already there's a buzz around Semple Stadium. Michael Dignan, your thoughts?
Yeah, just first of all, brilliant score by John Milan. You know, what a start for him. A few changes. Dan Shanahan gone centre forward, and Declan Prendergast Seamus Prendergast gone straight to full forward, and that's what I expected. You know, to put pressure on with Dermot O'Sullivan missing. So I'm expecting a huge game. A great rivalry built up this decade. I think Cork-Waterford is the rivalry of the decade in either hurling or football. It's absolutely fantastic. Great atmosphere, huge crowd, bit of spice with the players been suspended. So I think it's really set up for a massive game, and I think it's going to be a cracker.
Ben O'Connor going to take this sideline cut 5 goals, 108 points in 32 championship games. He's yet to score a goal against Waterford, by the way, despite what Michael was saying about that intense rivalry, the rivalry of the decade so far in this 21st century. It's Ben O'Connor cutting it in, dropping it in. That is a beautiful cut. Ben O'Connor from Newtown Shandrum. And the Cork fans respond. Great response to John Milan's opening score after 13 seconds.
Yeah, and we saw it last night here with Eamon Corcoran, and there again, one of the great skills of the game, and Ben O'Connor has all the skills, and what a score, and what a start, 2 brilliant scores to start the game.
Great catch by Seamus Prendergast. Loses possession, but Dan Shanahan actually, that's correct, and it's going to be a free in for Waterford for that foul on the Waterford man.
Yeah, and from a psychological point of view, Marty, that's huge for Dan Shanahan to put him in centre forward. Ronan Curran has been immense for Cork over the last couple of years and catches most of those balls, and that'll give Dan a great confidence starting off.
Owen Kelly with the free, and that ball is wide. First wide of the day. Scored a goal and 7 points in the All-Ireland semi-final last year. And Owen Kelly. First puck out of the afternoon for Anthony Nash. Dropping down towards Ken McGrath. Niall McCarthy, Tony Brown, Hurler of the Year, 1998. Giving it to Aidan Carney, getting his first touch in Championship Hurling. Stephen Malumbi sending it low along John Milan. Nice stick work. Tries to get away from the shackles of Shane O'Neill and Brian Murphy it is. John Milan overcarries, and that's going to be a free for Cork.
Yeah, great play there by Milan, great first touch. But Brian Murphy, did his job. John was looking for the free, and that's very good refereeing. That's definitely overcarrying.
Free by Ronan Curran. Dropping this one in. Up goes one Corkman. Waterford boys wait patiently. Big Pat Cronin is coming in. Kieran Murphy trying to get it across. That goes off his stick, and that's going to be a puck out this time for Clinton Hennessy. Three minutes played. Clinton Hennessy getting his second puck out of the afternoon. It is championship debut actually against Cork in Croke Park. Michael Brick Walsh, captain of Cork, loses possession. Tom Kenny can't gather it, but Cork have possession. They have plenty of support as well. Looking around, Jerry O'Connor waiting for somebody to be available, drives it in. Joe Dean comes sniffing around, tries to lay it back for us, Ben O'Connor. Good work here by Ken McGrath. Doesn't get any great distance into it. Well gathered by Jack Kennedy, who's playing almost a roving role. Deep into the space, into the corner. Dan the man is rather busy, and that's going to be a free in. That physique and that height, strength that Waterford have up front just might pose a problem for that Cork full back line. They concede this rather easy free and a chance for Owen Kelly to make amends for the previous miss. Anthony Nash from Kanturk in County Cork organising his defence. Owen Kelly, formerly Mount Sion of course, but transferred to Passage. Hits this, and this time it's sneaking inside the post. Waterford go back in front, 2 points to 1. These are the three boys that are unable to play: Sean O'Halpine, Donald O'Cusick, and of course Diarmuid O'Sullivan. Now, can the players on the field do the business without those three former All-Stars? That's the big question, as Waterford get this sideline cut at the far side. Tony Brown from Mount Sion, captain of the 1992 team that won the Under-21 All-Ireland, where he played in the exact same jersey number that he's wearing this afternoon, number 5. 33 years of age. All-star 1998 and last year. Doesn't really get behind it at all. Possession given away as Cork come forward. John Gardner sending it in nice and low in front of the back. But it's the defender that gets there first. Declan Prendergast under a little bit of pressure. Tries to get it far as midfielder Michael Brick Walsh, who succeeds in getting there despite the hassle and the pressure. Changes the direction of play, but it doesn't go to a Waterford man. That's Tom Kenny from Grana. Loses possession. Paul Flynn looking around, sending this one in towards Anthony Nash. Gathers it to the second attempt. That's his first save and his first clearance. And you can hear the volume of support for the Cork goalkeeper making his championship debut. Cork buzzing around the place. Ben O'Connor tries to give it back. Easily intercepted by Michael Walsh. The brick from Stradbally. Footballer of the year twice, in fact, back in the early part of the century. Cork defenders under a little bit of pressure here. Cian O'Connor manages to get it out far as Jerry O'Connor. Lays it outside for his Tom Kenny. Driving this one in, and that is looking good from the Cork supporters' point of view, and that's over the bar.
Yeah, Marty, and just the two Cork midfielders actually wearing the wrong jerseys against the program. I think both of us have referred to them. Tom Kenny is in 8 and Jerry O'Connor in 9, which is confusing us there at the start of the game. But what a start it's been. Waterford absolutely unbelievably sharp, and there seems to be a difference about their attitude. They're very low key, very determined looking, and that score I think Cork needed to settle them down.
Level for the second time after 7.5 minutes of play here in Semple Stadium. Puck out by Clinton Hennessy. Cork defensively around that half back line, sweeping up a lot of ball. James Murray getting there ahead of his opponent, Ben O'Connor. Aidan Carney delivering that ball down over the sideline ball for Cork. A little bit of argy-bargy going on off camera. Justin McCarthy concerned about it a little bit. Aidan Carney and Ben O'Connor are involved, and the referee Barry Kelly having a word with both players. John Gardner's sideline cut is a good one. Great catch by Aidan Carney. Considering he's making his championship debut, they rate him very highly down in Waterford. And James Murray under a little bit of pressure. Seemed to be a foul on the Waterford man. The referee says no. Here's Ben O'Connor right along the sideline, dropping it in, and Clinton Hennessy is there. Good defending by Waterford. Over to the far side, it's Owen Kelly flicking it back. Nice strike of the ball by Jack Kennedy. Down for us John Milan. Under a little bit of pressure. Brian Murphy is always staying with him. Milan goes for the score off the left-hand side, and that's inside the post and over the bar for his second point. 8 goals and 51 points in 22 games, and in his 23rd championship match he scores 2 cracking points. This one on the left, the previous one off the right.
Yeah, and John Milan, you know, Marty, over when he started out, came in for a bit of criticism, you know, maybe sent off once or twice, but what a corner forward he is. And he's so, you know, physically obviously so identifiable, but he's really one of the top corner forwards in the game. Great pace and a great hurler, and you know, it's great to see the attitude is spot on now, and he's settled down into being a hurler, and he's forgotten about everything else.
Well, Declan Prendergast from Ardmore picked up an injury here as he was challenging for that ball. You can see it was a frontal charge by Kieran Murphy, the captain of Cork. And Declan is okay. Back at full back as Anthony Nash at the other end of the field takes the puck out. Breaking ball. In there trying to scoop it up is Michael Brick Walsh. 3 Cork players around. One of them is Tom Kenny. Dropping this one in, but it's gone to the left and right. That's Cork's second wide of the game so far. And as always, between these two counties, even at this stage, you can say it's nip and tuck. It's very, very tight.
Yeah, and Waterford seem to have very definite game plan. They're switching full forward and centre forward. Prendergast is coming out under some puck outs, Big Dan on the other, and they're dragging them all over the place. Milan is switching corners with Paul Flynn. Jack Kennedy's midfield, Aidan Carney's back corner back, they're all over the place.
Here's Seamus Prendergast. That's kind of normal service, I have to say, for Justin McCarthy and Waterford. It's the usual way that they line out. The programme means little or nothing. Stephen Malumphey was fouling there, and that's going to be a free for Cork. This is the incident again as Kieran Murphy was trying to get away, fouled by Malumphey. So a free going to be taken by John Gardner on his own 65-metre line. Capable of either dropping it in or indeed dropping it over the bar. Hits it well, but it's tailing to the left. Posing no threat to Clinton Hennessy. Statistical information for you there. 3 wides for Cork, 1 for Waterford so far. Down the man here. Runs out of ground. Good work by the 2 Cork midfielders, Jerry O'Connor and Tom Kenny there. Sideline ball again going to be taken by John Gardner.
There are 2 great athletes in the middle of the field for Cork. You know, it must be a nightmare for anyone. They've really reinvented midfield play and changed the style of it, and all other counties now are going with mobile players since those 2 came on the scene.
A little bit of fouling there by Kieran Murphy. There are 2 Kieran Murphys playing. This is the Sarsfields man. He's deemed to have been fouling, so it's going to be a free out for Waterford. You may recall actually Kieran Murphy a couple of years ago, 6 years ago, the All-Ireland minor final. He scored 2 goals and 6 points against Kilkenny. Made his reputation all through that championship campaign. This free going to be taken by Ken McGrath. 3 times an All-Star. Dropping this up towards John Milan. Knocked down by Brian Murphy. Picked up by Brian Murphy, the rebound. Fouled. Referee spotted the infringement, and that's going to be a free for Cork. Looks like Anthony Nash has given the call to his old college mate, John Gardner. He's going to take this free himself.
We haven't seen him before, Marty. He's certainly a huge striker of the ball, and they're going with the traditional puck out. Big change from Donal Logan. Here it is, going in around the square.
It's a dangerous one. Who has it? Kieran Murphy! A long ball from Anthony Nash. It fell to Kieran Murphy. We noted just moments ago his scoring prowess. Here he is at the end, grabbed it and struck it past Clinton Hennessy.
Yeah, brilliant timing there, Marty. You know, he just came in at the last second. Declan Prendergast and Tony Brown both under the ball and just waited in behind and straight into the back of net. Great goal by Kieran Murphy.
And a bright start for Cork now, as Waterford just unable to retain control. That was Seamus Prendergast, and that's going to be a sideline ball for Cork. So Cork, who've been very much in the headlines all week over the disciplinary action by the new disciplinary structures organised by the GAA, they're coming here with 3 new championship debutants, and here they are leading the National League champions, 1-2 to 3 points. The hard-working, impressive Niall McCarthy from Carricktuhil taking a shot and sending this over the crossbar. There is nothing worse in terms of, from an opposition's perspective, than an angry Cork side, and they have been so focused and so determined all week that today they were going to achieve victory.
That's right, Martin, and you can see it in their forwards in particular. You know, they get criticised a lot, but the hunger today that they have, they're tackling like demons, and that's where it's all coming from.
Breaking ball picked up by Seamus Prendergast, under a little bit of pressure. 3 Cork lads around him. Manages to get it away. First Paul Flynn, who's operating at the corner. There's a chance here. Second save of the afternoon for Anthony Nash. Did well, good confident play. Out to Kevin Hartnett from Russell Rovers, down near Ballymaloon. Kept in play by Ken McGrath, sent back it again towards Kevin Hartnett. Has the time to gather it. He's a good player, this young lad. You might have seen him on television before, but I think you're going to hear a lot more about him. In comes Kieran Murphy, knocks it down for his Joe Dean, hits it on his left, and it's on its way. Did I mention about a Cork team that are very focused?
Yeah, classic score from Joe Dean off his left side, and it's the great to see him back. You know, had a serious illness earlier in the year, and great sportsman, and you know what a recovery he's made, and we're all delighted as hurling people to see him here today again.
It's early days, but Cork are playing with that dash, that flamboyance, that style that they have. And look at Ronan Curran dominating at centre half back, as he's done for so many seasons now. That skids along the surface, and that's going to be a sideline ball for Waterford, far side of the field. Waterford yet to find their rhythm, as Tony Brown goes yet again for this sideline ball.
It's a great quality to the game, though, Marty. 15 minutes gone, and we've had 5 or 6 great scores right out of the top drawer, and and a brilliant atmosphere. Particularly the Cork crowd are really behind their team today.
Good cut in by Tony Brown. Cork look very impressive defensively, I must say. And they have acres of space over this side. But Kieran Murphy from Aaron's zone is available. He smacks it onto the Hurley, and this time it just sneaks to the wrong side of the post. For Cork's 4th wide of this Munster semi-final. Hero de Hero, they call him affectionately down in Cork, 23-year-old. There's Clinton Hennessy, who made his name playing for 7 years with the Tipperary club in Boston. And as a result, the word was sent home, you'd want to watch this young Clinton Hennessy. This is Michael Brick Walsh, made his name as a footballer with Stradbally. Makes a difficult enough angle for himself, hits it across the face of the goal, and that's Waterford's 2nd wide. Scoreline remains 1-4 to 3 points. Anthony Nash went to Cork IT, still a student there. His uncle Declan Nash played Waterford hurling, of course Mike as well. So the hurling is in the blood there. Pat Cronin dropping this one in, and it's just tailing again to the left and right. One of the newcomers as well from Bishopstown, 2 Munster minor medals. He's only just 20 years of age, 2nd year in the panel. And of course, like so many of the top intercounty stars now, played Fitzgibbon Cup. Gerald McCarthy, former Waterford coach, now of course in charge of his own county, where he won All-Ireland medals back in 1966. He was an under-21 and All-Ireland senior medal. Brian Murphy requires some medical attention. And Brian, I remember meeting Brian in the dressing room in the All-Ireland final of 2004, because he suffers a lot from migraine, and he had to be taken off on that particular day, and he was very disappointed. Lovely lad, good hurler. Has a tough job today, marking John Milan.
Yeah, Martin, funny you said that. He was seemingly very sick all this week as well, and was very doubtful. He kept it quiet down there, but he was very doubtful right up until this morning.
Breaking ball and sheer pressure gives Waterford the advantage. There's a chance for Dan the Man. What a goal! Beautiful movement, beautiful strike, and it's the Lismore star. There was a choice here. Look at this. Waterford breaking down the Cork defence. Take your chance. John Milan had to get out of the way, and Dan the Man flashed it past Anthony Nash. The game is on in Semple Stadium. Just when you think Cork were getting the momentum, here comes Waterford. And then it's Cork again. Joe Dean lobbing this one inside. Chance here perhaps for Tom Kenny. Difficult enough angle. Not difficult at all. First point for the Granada man. And it stretches Cork's lead to 2 points.
A great ball in by Joe Dean. Saw Tom Kenny running inside, and lovely score. But what a goal by Waterford. Seamus Prendergast now at right half forward. They're switching all the time and very unselfish. This is what Seamus Prendergast brings to the Waterford team. And they're unselfish. Dan and Milan were queuing up, and a great goal. And Dan scores some amount of goals against Cork.
And there's trouble again for Cork here. Back outside far as Michael Walsh and Stephen Mullumphy. It's Mullumphy that's coming through in it. Loses possession. There's a chance here for Prendergast. He pulls in it. Anthony Nash saves. Didn't really connect. But there must be put down as a goal-scoring opportunity for the centre half forward from Ardmore. Ken McGrath's back there. Action areas very much dominated around the middle of the field, where there's 47% of the play. But so far we've had 2 goals and 8 points divided. 1-5 for Cork, 1-3 for Waterford. Just 20 minutes played. Niall McCarthy renewing his tussle with Ken McGrath. Lays it back for us Joe Dean. Floats this one in. It's 1 against 1. Clinton Hennessy has to come off his line. The goalkeeper judges it, goes back and gathers it. Half blocked, has to go again, under pressure. Ben O'Connor is the player that's providing that pressure. Gets it down for us, Jack Kennedy. Hooks it back for us, James Murray. Long ball up for us, John Milan and Brian Murphy. Inside there too, it's Owen Kelly, and Owen Kelly is fouled, and that's going to be a free in. And Waterford, with all the rejigging, trying to make sure that Cork don't get their concentration right. They're sucking people out of positions and moving them all over the place, and it's part of the tactical moves that Justin McCarthy brings to the table. So fullback Cian O'Connor being spoken to by Barry Kelly, and there's a little noting there by the fullback. And I think that's all it's going to be. It's just a little ticking. There's a chance here for Waterford to reduce Cork's lead to just a point. Going to take this is Owen Kelly. Has already scored a point from a free. And does it again. 1 point between the teams. Well, this is the 55th championship meeting today between Cork and Waterford, and Cork have certainly been the dominant side with 41 victories. Waterford have 10 and 3 draws. And of course, the draws is very much part of the Munster Championship at the moment. It's an ankle problem down at the far side, and some medical attention required for Niall McCarthy. All-star hurler, centre half forward, 2004. In fact, he was the RTE man of the match on the Sunday game on that particular historic occasion. And playing great stuff with his club, Carrick-Touhou. They're unbeaten in the intermediate championship.
Seamus Prendergast, look, just at the last second, great unselfish pass, and Dan Shannon, great finish. And you know, Dan has scored an awful lot of goals against Cork. He really is their bogeyman. But Niall McCarthy is having some battle with Ken McGrath since the start. He's got a great point. Ken has cleared a few balls, and the physicality between the two of them, you know, it's no place for the faint-hearted in there. And I think it was on the throw-in, the last throw-in, Ken pulled fair and square, and I think Niall got a knock on the ankle, but he'll be back. It'll take a lot to get rid of him.
Well, he does a lot of work at centre forward, creating the space and providing possession for the players like Joe Dean and Ben O'Connor in the corners. Great-hearted player, totally unselfish, and he's able to resume, and the boot, I think at this stage, is being replaced. Taking a while to get sorted. Gerald McCarthy will be hoping that they can keep their concentration. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, and Marty, it's just a quick break. The Féile final on at the moment between Castleknock from Dublin and a hand from Limerick. Great achievement for Castleknock, a newish hurling club, been in the Féile under-14 Féile final down in Kilkenny. And a quick word about my own club, St. Ryan. It's a great bunch of young lads who got to the semi-final, beaten by 2 points last night. And well done to everyone involved there as well.
James Murray from Tallow just unable to hold on to the slither, so it's going to be a sideline ball for Cork. It's going to be taken by Tom Kenny. Played with the famous St. Finbarr's Farran Ferris. Sad to say, unfortunately, the Farran is now closed. Provided some great hurlers over the years to Cork. Ken McGrath to Jack Kennedy, still playing in that third midfield role. Stephen Malumphey from Ballyduff Upper, dropping this one in. Owen Kelly and John Milan chasing after it. Comes down first, Milan, shot! Oh, what a wonderful strike! You can hardly see it. And Milan is on an adrenaline rush. 2 goals for Waterford, one by Dan Shanahan, second by John Milan, and both totally unstoppable. Watch this, you'll hardly see it flash into the net.
Yeah, but Marty, he really showed his hurling brain there. You know, he waited for the break, dropped in, Owen Kelly knocked it down, and what a finish. And Milan is on fire today. His first touch is incredible, and really Brian Murphy, as I said, has been sick all the way up. The scores are still brilliant, but you know what are Cork going to do? They have to make a change there.
Ken McGrath under pressure, being held back. That's going to be a free for Waterford. Advantage fluctuating from one end to the other. Man of the match twice in the Munster Championship in 2004 against Clare and Cork. He usually produces it in this arena as McGrath goes for the point, and it's straight over the crossbar. The league champions have found their rhythm and their momentum, boosted by 2 cracking goals. Wonderful strikes. Wonderful captain as well, Ken
Well,
McGrath.
I think, Marty, if anyone ever deserves to win an All-Ireland medal, it's Ken McGrath. What a hurler he's been over the last decade, and one of the greats of all time, and still providing great leadership and scoring ability, everything to this Waterford team.
Pat Cronin is the player on the deck in the red jersey. Here he is now, big tall lad from Bishopstown, trying to lay it off. Whereas Jerry O'Connor coming forward, getting by the challenge, which is so important. Jack Kennedy in pursuit. This is a great run by Jerry O'Connor, takes a shot, and that is over the bar. Quality hurling in Simple Stadium. It's hard to beat it when it's played at this pace. Look at this, straight into top gear, used the short grip and split the posts. Puck out by Clinton Hennessy. Straight down for John Gardner. Look at the running off the ball by Kevin Hartnett. Down for Pat Cronin. This is Hartnett. Tries to get second attempt at it, doesn't quite gather it. Tony Brown lays it off. Anticipated hand pass. In comes Tom Kenny. He's past the 45. He's approaching the 20. Onto the 13. Takes a shot, and that comes back off the post. 3 Cork players. And there's 2 Waterford. This is Kieran Murphy sending it back outside for Ben O'Connor, who called for it. Trying to sneak one in. Fires the hero. Nice stick work. Referee blows his whistle, and that's going to be a free. And Barry Kelly immediately having a word with the Waterford player. And he's telling the Cork bench there as well that they need some medical attention. He's holding on, I think, to Declan Prendergast.
He has isolated him. I think it was an accident, Marty. I know we'll see it again in a minute, I'm sure, but
this is the incident again as the ball went through to Kieran Murphy.
Just went to flick the ball, and just the hurl followed up. It's definitely a free in, but nothing malicious there. If you watch Prendergast, he just comes in to flick the ball here and just gets it into the face. And that's what the face guards are designed for, to protect against those things.
Kieran Murphy is okay, and there's a yellow card for Declan Prendergast.
What a run there again, Marty, by Tom Kenny. Really, it's the only place you could say Waterford are in trouble is in the middle of the field. Kenny and Jerry O'Connor have 3 points from play between them already, and the sheer athleticism of both Kenny and Jerry O'Connor is causing serious problems. And they really get the Waterford defenders are staying with their men so as not to create the extra man, and it's allowing the space for them to run through then.
Joe Dean with a simple tap over the bar for his 2nd point. Minutes, almost 29 minutes played now. And Cork leading. Puck out by Clinton Hennessy. Long ball again. Not cleared away. John Milan is available, takes the shot, and that's another point. John Milan is beginning to have a major influence in this game. And Brian Murphy, who usually keeps him under wraps, I have to say, is finding it difficult this afternoon.
I don't think anyone could keep him under wraps today, Marty. He's absolutely on fire. But Seamus Prendergast again, what an underrated player he has been. Maybe not so much this year, he's getting the credit, but a brilliant catch there and a quick layoff, and that's what any inside forward wants.
Puck out by Anthony Nash. Going back together, this is Owen Murphy. Under pressure from Jerry O'Connor. Here's Pat Cronin. Inside is Kieran Murphy going for a 2nd goal. 2-goal hero from Sarsfields called Kieran Murphy. We're having a rip-roaring contest in Simple Stadium.
Jerry O'Connor made that goal. Brilliant finish by Murphy again, and a great ball in by Pat Cronin. But just before Pat Cronin won that ball, Jerry O'Connor ran 40 yards to dispossess one of the Waterford defenders, and a brilliant goal again. And what a game this is.
Here come Waterford now to respond. Calling for it over this side is Dan the man. He's already scored 1 point. Dan Shanahan going through the 13, bursting his way forward. Half block, comes back outside. This is big Ronan Curran. Strong, physical, and very skillful. Comes down for James Murray, sending it low along the surface in an effort to try and make sure that Waterford retain possession. John Gardner came in like a train and ended up both himself and indeed Stephen Malumphey on the deck. Referee blowing his whistle, but he's giving a free to Waterford and a chance for Waterford to level the match again. just 23 years of age. He started midfield, if you recall, back in 2004 against Limerick in a Munster Championship, and he's been at half-back ever since. And he receives a yellow card for that awkward challenge on Stephen Malumphey. Owen Kelly has scored twice so far in this Munster semi-final. Hits it with everything. And the white flag is going to be raised. 3 out of 3 for Owen Kelly. And Cork and Waterford level for the third time after 31 minutes of play. There's absolutely nothing Anthony Nash could do about either of those 2 Waterford goals.
No, on the other end of the field with Clinton Hennessy, just quality finishing, and when you get a chance like that, you have to take them.
Pat Cronin in the middle of it, comes back out as John Gardner. Available over this side is Tom Kenny in the blue helmet. Going to try and drop this one in. Clinton Hennessy sees it all the way. Masterful and controlled goalkeeping. Sends it straight down the wing here. As Stephen Malumphey coming through is Tony Brown. A stylish Mount Sign man. Looks around, he's not going to be hooked. He has a shot and that's over the bar. Tony Brown gets his first point in his Munster semi-final, and Waterford go back in front. Once again, the lead is exchanged. The pace and the style of Munster hurling, all evident here in this wonderful arena in County Tipperary.
What a servant on Marty. 14 or 15 years he's playing with Waterford now. In 98, you mentioned earlier, it feels like a lifetime ago. He was hurler of the year, and here he is still 10 years later producing the goods in Thurles.
Niall McCarthy sending that ball in. And here comes Tony Brown. He has the assistance of Clinton Hennessy. Gives it long, very long. All the way down for John Milan, that breaking ball. 2 Cork players after him. One of them is Hartnett, the other is Murphy. Milan is down on the ground. He doesn't get a free. Comes back for Ronan Curran, who sweeps it over this side. There's Niall McCarthy, given the space, steadies himself, shoots and drops this over Clinton Hennessy's crossbar. You're seeing some hurling in Semple Stadium. It's going back and forth, and now Cork and Waterford level for the 4th time after just 33 minutes of action.
Marty, great score by McCarthy, but that was a foul on John Milan there. I think his reputation sometimes works against him. That, and the ref is going over now to have orders maybe for saying something or whatever. But he seems to find it nearly impossible to get a free now, and his past reputation does work against him.
2 points for Niall McCarthy. The referee is having a verbal exchange with John Milan. I think Milan is complaining just exactly about the point that you're saying, Michael, that he should have received a free. He was shocked when he didn't.
And Barry Kelly may have given an advantage. It's a bit. We don't know what's going on between the two of them, but I'm sure there's a few pleasantries from John anyway to Barry Kelly.
And I think actually John acknowledged that perhaps whatever Barry said, I think he acknowledged.
That's good refereeing to be able to explain his decision.
Absolutely, dead on. Puck out by Clinton Hennessy. Over to the far side, Seamus Prendergast underneath it, and once again Waterford bear down and goal. Look at Milan to his right, top of the screen, he's brought to ground. This time it is a free for Waterford on the 20-metre line, and this time Cork players protest, and Barry Kelly, the referee from County Westmeath, explains and demonstrates the reason why, and because Cork are protesting, he's bringing it dead straight in front of the post.
Well, Paul Flynn go for a goal now. He's come up
on the stroke of half-time. Would you go for a goal?
Yes, I definitely would, and Paul Flynn definitely will.
Okay, Michael Denny, you called it well. Let's see what happens. Paul Flynn out with a groin injury. In fact, he had an operation just at the end of last year. Will he go for goal? The Cork lads are anticipating that he just might. Here it is. Goes for it, and it is a goal! Brilliant strike by Paul Flynn on the stroke of half-time. What a player and what a strike. And what a call, Michael Dyke.
Well, I don't know, that's his first puck at the ball this half, but that's the one thing about Paul Kelly. He has this massive confidence in his own ability. And, he again, a player who gets a bit of stick from his own crowd at times, but he has been a superstar for Waterford over the years. He's kept them in championship games over the years. First puck at the ball, and he has that confidence to stick it in the back of the net.
Puck out. Breaking ball, there's some fouling by Cork. Well, back in the Munster final of 2004, which is 3 years ago, Waterford were the last team to score 3 goals against Cork in the championship. In fact, they scored 3-16 in a thriller. And here in Semple Stadium, on this particular day in June, they've scored 3 goals and 8 points, and we've only had 35 minutes of action.
Yeah, and Dermot O'Sullivan and Donal Logue missing. I don't think it's the goalie's fault, but Dermot O'Sullivan's physical presence is certainly a loss. No, I don't think you'd see players walking through the centre if Dermot O'Sullivan was there.
Kevin Hartnett from Russell Rovers is the player that's down injured. Captain of the Fitzgibbon Cup in UCC, and it's his 4th year on the panel, but all the people in Cork will say that Hartnett is a player for the future. Referee waiting for the left half back to be declared fit and well, while the Waterford fans rejoice as Ken McGrath goes to take this free. Made his debut in 1996.
Yeah, there's Dermot. I was talking about him. You know, he's looking very pensive there at the moment.
This one is dropping in. There's a touch. It goes all the way back. A chance for Owen Kelly. Paul Flynn blocked. Comes back outside for Dan Shannon. Another shot. Another goal. 4 goals for Waterford. It's his second, number 2 for Dan the Man. Waterford 4-8, Cork 2-8. It's a thriller in Semple Stadium. We've seen some great games, but what a first half of action. Cork defence was a little bit lax here. First it was blocked down, came back out to Dan Shannon. He hit a cracker. Absolutely unstoppable. Not Donal Logue, not Brendan Cummins, not Davy Fitz. Nobody could stop it.
No, and I don't know, Dan is able to do this against Cork, and he's one of the few, you know, that's several times we've seen him scoring 2 goals against Cork.
Down first, Joe Dean. What a scoreline. Waterford 4-8, Cork 2-8. Dean looking around. Needs to drop this one in, and it's sneaking inside the post. Oh, what a point. What a fantastic point by Joe Dean. He was almost in the corner flag. And when you think of all the goals we've had in this first half, don't forget, please, Joe Dean's point.
Yeah, we've had 5 or 6 points like that. Absolutely quality. That's all you can say about that first half.
It's a goal feast in Semple Stadium. Goals by Kieran Murphy after 13 minutes. Dan Shanahan after 19. Kieran Murphy after 30. Before that, with John Milan on 25. Then Paul Flynn from a penalty on a free from 35 minutes. And then Dan Shanahan, a minute into injury time, giving Waterford some lead. Anthony Nash may be disappointed. He's conceded 4 goals after 35 minutes of championship action, but none of them, absolutely none of them, could be blamed on the goalkeeper. But for Waterford and Cork, they're providing some thriller here in Semple Stadium. Half-time score in Semple Stadium, Thurles. Here it is. It's Waterford, yes, 4-8, Cork 2-9, and it's only, by the way, half-time. We've plenty to talk about. Do stay with us.
Okay, back here on the Sunday Game Live, half-time in the Munster Hurling semi-final clash between Cork and Waterford. Waterford leading Cork 4 goals and 8 points to 2-9. Quick look at the stats from that first half, and here they come for you. There's an idea of the possession. Well, obviously it's been tit for tat, ding dong up and down the field. 5 wides for Cork in that first half, just the 1 wide to Waterford. That was Ken McGrath, as far as I can remember. And the 2 yellow cards there, John Gardner of Cork and Declan Prendergast, the Waterford full back. Cyril Farrell and Tomas McCahey here with me in studio. Tom, the 3 people that are suspended for this match are 3 defenders. Now, okay, Anthony Nash couldn't be responsible for any of those goals, but it is significant. You've conceded 4.
Yeah, there's big problems in around the full back line, certainly. And I mean, Michael mentioned in commentary as well that kind of Brian Murphy has been sick all week as well. And he's getting a bit of a roasting from John Milan, you know. So maybe expect a change there at half time and somebody fresh coming in. But the high ball, certainly Waterford have done their homework. I mean, the high ball that's coming around the square, whether it is, it's either caught by the Waterford man or it's breaking loose. And the goals have come from that, you know. And like here again is the puck out. I mean, they targeted Prendergast big time as well. Everybody maybe expecting to be centre forward or full forward. And again, it's kind of routine stuff for Dan at this stage against Cork. I mean, give him a ball in his hand at the edge of the square and he's going to punish you. And certainly, I mean, it was a very, very well taken goal. Dan has proved, I suppose, he's moved from full forward, he's gone to centre forward, he's gone to the wing, and they've used their puck outs very, very well, Waterford. But again, it's the long ball that's causing problem inside there. Cian O'Connor is a very good hurler, but again, he's probably lacking a bit of physique that Dermot O'Sullivan will bring to the team, and it's a breakdown here. And the first man to react to it is John Milan, and it's bang. Unstoppable shot. I mean, you mentioned Anthony Nash. I mean, Anthony Nash is first man there. He's there. There's nothing he could do. And
that's pure cheek.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say they're going to be disappointed about this, Michael, because that free was further out and a bit of a descent brought the ball back into the centre. And you saw Owen Kelly going into Paul Flynn to say go for the goal. Here again, I mean, we're at 6s, Cork are 6s and 7s, and Sir maybe thinks that Dan was going for a point
Oh,
here.
look
I
at it.
certainly think
Yeah,
when
yes.
Dan gets the ball in his hand, he's like that, it's a shot for goal and it's into the back of the net.
You see it again, it's
You
definitely
know,
goes for
conceding
goal,
4 goals like that in the first half, it's not something that you see from a Cork defence too often, but it puts him under an awful lot of
Diarmuid
pressure.
O'Sullivan is a very, very solid fullback in every sense of it, but he's reliable, he's there for, you know what he can do. He's not there today, and to me it shows.
He's very strong under the high ball, like, and definitely, like Brian Murphy, I'd say, like, was caught ball watching there. Like John Mullane got a lovely break, stuck it in. John Mullane's having a great game on Brian Murphy, and as Tomas says there, they'll have to change Mullane or Brian Murphy because you just can't leave him on.
Oh, well, Milan scored a couple of fantastic points there.
Yeah, like the boys are on top out in the middle of the field. They're strong under they're using their physical strength and trying to break it down like the whole time. Like, and you know, this guy Mullane, when he's on sound, like he started in the first second, goes around him very easy on the run, and now that's a hard angle, but he flicks it over, uses the wrist right, and now he's developed his right side as well as left. And he's on a kind of a roll today, Michael, that when he usually some days he can be very quiet, but when this guy gets on the roll like this, he shoots on sight and they're going over, and he's electrifying.
He looks very lean, mean and hungry today.
And he has a goal and 3 points in the first half.
He rises the Waterford crowd as well. He's kind of the hero, you know, like he got suspended a few years ago and he took his punishment.
But
so like
I think
he's a hero really.
It's significant as well. I mean, Prendergast, they put Prendergast out and Kevin Hartnett, who was kind of a new man in the block as well, and they put an awful lot of puckles down there. They kept the ball away from the Cork's dominant man for the last couple of games, which was Ronan Curran. They did not want to put puckles down on top of him. Put the Prendergast, and he's caused 2 of the goals there. He's one possession.
But as well,
first
Tomas,
through and hand past the ball
what they're
inside.
doing as well is, I know they're good at the puck house, but they're varying. They're moving, they're rotating the forwards around. You have Dan outside, you have Prendergast outside, you have Owen Kelly. These guys have come into the game, but after saying all that, they're still only 5 points up, even though they have scored the 4 goals.
Well, this is it. I mean, they've got 4 goals, but I mean, it's not all one side of Cork. Of course, they've got 2 goals as well, Tomas, and picking up some nice points too.
Michael, I think Cork have done very, very well in the circumstances. I mean, they really ran at Waterford and every opportunity they've got. Certainly, I mean, this is coming from a very, very long route one, you know. And I mean, it's a great catch when it comes inside. You see Pat Cronin going for it, and there's Ciara Murphy in behind, and bang, it's a shot back into the back of the net. You know, it's a route one. Similar to what has happened with Waterford, and I mean, Waterford will be kind of upset with the goals that they've conceded as well, you know. And this again is a breaking ball. And watch the touch here when Owen Murphy goes to pick it. Jerry O'Connor in with the hurley, flicks it away. Pat Cronin's onto it very, very quick. Great vision out of him to see Ciara Murphy bang back of the net. Great teamwork by Cork. And going forward, Cork have looked very good. The 2 midfielders breaking. Jerry O'Connor, Tom Kenny has opened up that heart of that Waterford defence, and they've been into pinpoint passes. Like 4 minutes from half time, that game was level.
Yeah, Tomas, once Cork get the ball, they're fine on the ball, and 2 boys in the field are coming through. Waterford defence are going back, going 1-to-1, so there's gaps appearing down the middle, they go down the channels. But in the air, that Waterford's physicality, backs and forwards, they are that more physically and seem that more stronger than Cork. Like, and they're going to they will make it as physical as they can because they are great hurlers and they're going to use their power.
Because the one thing about Cork, I mean, as we all know, is the skills are there to pick off those handy little points all day long.
When Ciaran Murphy got the first goal, next thing you had Joe Dean popping the point and the other Ciaran Murphy popped. All of a sudden they were on the flow, but then Big Dan got his goal, and that brought the first goal that Dan Shannon got. That put Waterford right back in the game. But the atmosphere here today, Michael, is electric again. It's a fantastic game of hurling. Like, and it's okay. Waterford in the driving seat, but like they're still going to have to be wary because Cork are still capable of getting good goals.
Given the situation that Cork are in, Tomas, I mean, there's nothing too much. You know, defensive-wise, what can they do?
Well, I suppose, I mean, certainly, I mean, it's very hard when you've guys 6'2" and 6'3", 6'4", and high balls are raining in to defend it, you know. I mean, you've got to have the physical strength, you know, maybe rather than kind of standing behind the back or maybe trying to attack the ball a bit more, you know, because there was a lot of breaking ball around the square. 2 of the goals came from breaking ball. Your first job in your full back line is when the ball breaks, get it out the wings as quickly as possible, no fancy stuff, and certainly, I mean, they are in trouble there's no doubt about that.
Okay, back after in Thurles, it's Waterford leading Cork by 4-8 to 2-9. Cyril Farrell will wait for the teams to come back out, which they will be very shortly here for the second half. 6 goals in the game so far. I dare you to predict what's going to happen in the second half.
Well, it's hard to say that there won't be more goals, because Waterford have that physical strength and very, very good hurling. Cork are living on scraps really. Like, Cork are going to have to do something extra special to get on top of this. Definitely their half back will have to come more into it. When the ball's put out to their half back line, any ball they catch look lovely, but most of it's going right through into the full forward line. And like even Brian Murphy, they're all under pressure inside. We're picking on Brian Murphy in the first half. Okay, he wasn't good, but there's so much coming through. It's hard for the full back line to do anything inside there. They'll be looking for a big step up from their half back line. But like, Waterford are in the driving seat, and if they drive on from here and pick their scores from outside, the other fellas can come good from Waterford. Like, so, you know, like Owen Kelly still has to kind of really come good. Jack Kennedy, these guys are a lot of hurling and they're not doing that much yet, so they could flow the second half.
I don't think Cork are living in scraps, to be honest with you. I mean, they've scored 2-9. they've just conceded badly in the goal front, you know. And I mean, there was a school of thought before the game that maybe John Gardner would actually go back full back and Cian O'Connor would actually go to wing back, where he's played a lot of his hurling as well, just for a physical presence, and maybe that might happen in the second half period,
Tomas,
just to stop those goals going through.
But it's
no, I agree with the physical presence. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
but
the
it's
high
not
ball is
inside.
out, you know.
Everyone is blaming the full back line, Tomas,
Yes.
but it's outside. The real problem is because the ball is coming through the whole time. They're not stopping any ball going through. They're not stopping enough ball. Every ball, Cork get a score. The boys Waterford go back up and get a score straight away. They have to get stuck in. If Waterford don't catch the ball out there, they're in trouble. But they're catching everything and going right route one down the middle. And like there's very little full back line can do.
Okay, lads, thanks for that. Back again to Marty Morrissey and Michael Dignan.
Thank you very much, Michael. Welcome back here to Simple Stadium, and looking forward to this second half. It's not in every even game of hurling that you get 6 goals and 17 points in the opening 35-36 minutes, but that's what we have here, and that's 6-17 shared between Waterford and Cork by 4-8 to 2-9. Kennedy is out of midfield now, and also there's a change in the Cork side. It looks like Shane Murphy. It says Sean Murphy, I think, in the local programme here, but it's Shane Murphy that's in, and that is over the bar. So Shane Murphy seems to be in for Brian Murphy, the right cornerback, as anticipated. And I'm sure that Brian Murphy's form very much related to the fact that he has been unwell all during the week.
Yeah, a great score there by Tom Kenny again. That's 4 points from play now for the Cork midfield, and that's one area that are very much on top since the start of the game.
5 points between the teams at half-time. Here's John Milan coming through. This time Cork are equal to the task. Cian O'Connor gets it around the midfield area. Oh, superb catch again as Waterford continued to have that physical presence. Full credit to Michael Brick Walsh. Goes back past Ken McGrath. Changes the direction of play by switching it to the far side. John Milan chasing after it. With him, of course, is Shane O'Neill, and that's good play by Shane O'Neill from Bishopstown. Good cornerback stuff out of him as James Murray and Aidan Carney win possession at the far side. Breaking ball favours Tom Kenny. Chasing him is Stephen Malumphey, and that's going to be a free for the foul on Tom Kenny. Free for Cork, just inside their own 65-metre line.
Great hurling there from both cornerbacks. Just Shane O'Neill from Bishopstown, a young Cork player who's very highly regarded, captain UCC this year into Fitzgibbon, and then Aidan Carney. What a find he's been for Waterford. He came out to that ball at full speed and took it with him, and that's great skill and great cornerback play, and on the ball all the way.
And he has quite a pedigree in hurling. He's won 2 Harty Cup and 3 All-Ireland colleges with St. Coleman's in Fermoy. So he's no slouch when it comes to hurling, I can tell you. John Gardner with the free, dropping this in, but he hit it too hard and also tinged with inaccuracy, I'm afraid. So it's 4-8 to 2-10. That remains the score, and that's Cork's first wide of the second half and their 6th in all.
Yeah, Marty, and see John Gardner has gone over on Seamus Prendergast as well. Obviously, we're talking about that. Prendergast caught 3 or 4 great puckouts in the first half. So Cork have done their homework as well, you know. So both management's very sharp today and very astute.
Michael Brick Walsh picked up a knock. Captain of this Waterford side. Footballer of the year down in his neck of the woods, 2003 and 2004. He was also a member of the Waterford under-21 football team that beat Kerry in the Munster football final, so very much a dual star down in Waterford. He's fine, and he resumes at
Martin
midfield.
just commented there, only two of the Cork backs and goalie from last year's Ireland final now on the field to play. So that really, you know, talk about resources and what you have in your bench. You've only got Ronan Curran and John Gardner that would normally be in their first 7. So if they can hold out and win this game, that's some achievement for them.
Plenty of talent in Cork, they will tell you. It's going to be tested this afternoon. Here's one of those All-Ireland stars, Ronan Curran. Over fires Kieran Murphy. Referee has blown his whistle. And I think he's going to have a word with the Waterford defender. That's James Murray. A little bit of persistent fouling. Just a little tick in the book. And it's going to be a free for Cork. Going to be taken by Ben O'Connor as James Murray returns to his position at left half back. 27 years of age. That familiar pose, and he's taking a free. Hits it to the left and wide, I'm afraid. And Cork increased their tally of wides to 7. Puck out by Clinton Hennessy. Dropping it straight down the middle. Kevin Hartnett battling there for Cork with the white helmet, wearing number 7. On the ground is Stephen Malumphey. It's John Gardner that has the slither. Passes outside for Shane O'Neill. Flicks it down over to that far over wing. Ben O'Connor unable to reach it. Sideline ball for Waterford. James Murray going to take this sideline ball. Another one of these Waterford players that went to college in Cork and UCC and played Fitzgibbon. And a lot of these players would know each other very, very well, not just from playing against each other at this level, but with college teams as well. John Milan lays it back as Waterford try and increase their lead in towards Dan Shanahan. Ronan Curran is now with him. Still Dan, that's a sideline ball for Cork. Well, Dan Shanahan had some season back in 2004. He scored 6 goals and 4 points in 3 games. 3-1 against Clare, 2 goals against Tip and 1-3 against Cork. And here this afternoon, he's already scored 2 out of those 4 Waterford goals. Shane Murphy going to take this sideline ball from the Aaron Zone club. Wasn't even on the panel for the National Hurling League. Ex-Cork minor. Slices it rather well, I must say. Good cut. Gathered by Ken McGrath. Fouled by Niall McCarthy, and Niall is not impressed with the referee's decision. He threw the hurley away, and for that there's an extra 13 metres for Waterford.
I think we've seen that once or twice before over the years, yeah. They're battling here just since the start of the game, and Ken McGrath's trying to get up in the arms. There's not a whole lot, but his arms are around him, and he hopped the hurl off the microphone on the far side.
This free is going right on target. Good score. Ken McGrath. Puck out by Anthony Nash. The break favours Ben O'Connor. Under pressure from Jack Kennedy and James Murray. Here comes Joe Dean. Lays it off. Far as Jerry O'Connor. Good play by Cork. Niall McCarthy has to try and get it back out for his Pat Crona. Turns around, tries to lob this in over the crossbar. Clinton Hennessy escorts it out over the in-line. Good solid goalkeeping. Five points again between the teams. An attendance of 36,252 watching this Munster Hurling semi-final. It's head-to-head Ronan Curran between Ken McGrath and himself, and you can see at the moment Ken McGrath has scored 2 points out of 2 frees. No frees conceded by either players, and scores conceded are exactly even. It's an interesting head-to-head.
Yeah, the only difference, Marty, is that the 2 concessions from Ronan Curran are 2 goals from Dan Shanahan. It's only 2 points scored off of Ken McGrath up the other end, so big difference there.
So Cork are going to introduce Timmy McCarthy, and it looks like Niall McCarthy is the player that's going to make way, and this is the ankle problem, a persistent ankle problem over the last couple of weeks, and certainly today. So Timmy is in and Niall is out. One McCarthy for another, and no relation. Disappointment etched on the face of Niall McCarthy. Great hearted player, great warrior for Cork. Comes down for his Dan Shanahan. Sends it in low for John Milan. Didn't quite connect. Paul Flynn. Lovely touch onto the right and sends it over the crossbar. A goal and a point for Paul Flynn. And it's an interesting afternoon and baptism of fire for Shane Murphy, who's making his championship debut here. 6 points between the teams. Or 2 goals if you like it another way. Ken McGrath just couldn't quite hold on to the slither. Tony Brown is there. Not a good pass, Tony, I'm afraid. Owen Murphy could do nothing about that. Sideline ball for Cork. possession. Look at that, 50% for Waterford, 50% for Cork, and that gives you the evenness of the contest. But the difference, the Cork fans fully aware that they're trailing by 2 goals. Jerry O'Connor going to take this sideline cut. Nice ball inside Joe Dean. Jerry O'Connor is waiting outside. Quickly he's marked, cuts inside beautifully. Bad marking by Waterford. Here's a chance for Jerry O'Connor, and he drives it off a Waterford defender. He was actually going for goal from that particular angle, and it just seemed to deflect off a Waterford defender for a 65. .65 for Cork.
Yeah, Marty, I'd be surprised if a goal doesn't come before the end of the game from one of the Cork midfielders going through, whether the draw man as well, because they're absolutely flying all over the field. And Jerry O'Connor, as you said there, he was definitely going for a goal. Great pass by Jordan. He held it up for that second to put him through the space. And, you know, I'll be surprised if there's not a goal, as I say, coming off one of those before the end of the game.
This is going to be taken by Ben O'Connor. Sneaking a few meters. They could call it a 64 perhaps, as that goes over the bar for his second point of the day. And we're back to where we were at half time with 5 points between the teams. Straight down the middle again from Clinton Hennessy. Stephen Malumphey being chased by Kevin Hartnett. Lays it back for Owen Kelly. Corkman was fouled, however, and that's going to be a free out for the Leesiders. Jerry O'Connor was the player that was tripped, as Owen Kelly went for this. So I presume it's going to be either John Gardner or Ronan Curran that's going to take this free just inside their own half of the field. Niall McCarthy there with Frank Murphy, the county secretary. John Gardner dropping this one in. The break comes first, Pat Cronin. Can he get it in? He can! Another goal in Semple Stadium. 7-goal cracker in the heart of Tipperary. This time it's a high dropping ball that's posing problems for Waterford, and Pat Cronin from Bishopstown on his championship debut strokes it gently past Clinton Hennessy. John Gardner bursting his way out, laying it off. Fires Kevin Hartnett. Nice strike of the ball, sending it in low. Fires Kieran Murphy, 2-goal hero the first half, lays it off. This is better play. Kieran Murphy, the hero, laying it off as Jerry O'Connor. Joe Dean, it was a poor pass. Joe Dean has to make an angle for himself, makes amends and puts it over the bar. 4 points for Joe Dean. 1 point between the teams. It's all to play for. If the pass was a little bit better here to Joe Dean, who knows what might have happened. Very quickly, you'll have to bring out the pocket calculator for this one.
Yeah,
4-10.
great heart by Cork, Martin. A great goal again there, coming from a high ball into the square. And 3 Waterford men went for that one. The goal Kieran Murphy scored in the first half, 2 of them went for it. So they'll have to. There's Owen Kelly now. This is over the bar from him.
Ah, that's a great point by Owen Kelly, and that's his 4th point as well, but his first from play. And it restores Waterford's 2-point advantage.
Yeah, he's having a quiet enough game up to now, apart from the freeze, but great point there, and that'll settle him down as well.
Puck out by Anthony Nash. Oh, great catch by Pat Cronin. I saw him in the league and was suitably impressed. Fabulous catch here as Waterford and Cork wrestle off the ground, but it's Joe Dean that finishes it and puts it over the bar. Referee having a word with Kieran Murphy, I think, and as there was a tussle going on here. Here's Joe Dean, meanwhile, lashing this over the bar 5 times. Well, he was heading for the 5th equaliser, but of course there's still only 1 point between the teams. Referee having a word with Declan Prendergast, and he's on a yellow card, so he had to try and just do things with a pragmatism, and I think that was fair enough.
Yeah, Marty, you know, we were talking about John Milan having a blinder on one end of the field, but what about Joe Dean? 4 points from play, and he's absolutely crucifying Owen Murphy there. And, you know, I suppose Waterford are slow to move Aidan Kearney over them, but he's doing all the damage, and Ben O'Connor is quiet.
Kieran Murphy sending it in low far as the aforementioned Ben O'Connor. Trying to make a little bit of space for himself. Has to go back outside for his twin brother Jerry. Lays it back to Ben. The Newtown Chandram boys combine. He hits it with the short quick, and that's over the bar. And this time the sides are level after 5 attempts, 5 goals. It's an amazing game, really, of hurling. Since this game started just at 4 o'clock, the sides have been level 5 times. This time it's the O'Connor twins that combine, and Waterford and Cork are deadlocked.
I'll never have the cheek to say Ben O'Connor's having a quiet game again.
That'll teach him, Michael Dagnan. The Cork fans rejoice and celebrate, giving vent to their emotions. Fine catch by Ronan Curran. Lays it off. There's Kevin Hartnett. Under pressure now from John Milan. Hartnett does well, goes to ground but loses possession. Backfires Ronan Curran, who has to try and make amends because it really wasn't a good pass initially. Loses possession. Here's a chance for Dan Shannon. Chance for the full forward, and great defending. The goalkeeper had to come off his line, and Tom Kenny was back there as well, helping out his defence. This is Cian O'Connor. Tom Kenny slowly getting to ground. Getting a pat on the back from Anthony Nash. Meanwhile, in the action, it's Tony Brown sending it down the sideline. 3 Cork players going up for this. The breaking ball favours, however, Owen Kelly. He lays it off. Chance here for John Milan under pressure. 2 Cork players converge on him. There's a push, a knee on the backside. The referee says there's a free. The Cork players protest. I must say I have my doubts whether that was a legitimate free. And Barry Kelly, to be fair to him, has had a very good game up to this. But let's just have a look.
He kind of just ran in over him, I suppose, and it was harmless enough, but maybe makes up for the one in the first half that maybe Milan should have got. So these things balance out at times. The one tank Ronan Curran caught a great ball and could have cleared it 90 yards down the field and threw it up, or hand passed it out and put all the pressure on, and Tom Kenny has got an injury out of it as well.
There's Owen Kelly trying to inspire his colleagues. Tom Kenny, by the way, is in fact getting some medical attention off camera at the moment, and there's going to be a delay while that is happening. It took bravery by Anthony Nash to come out, and good defending by Tom Kenny to go back and help out his defence that were really exposed.
It was a serious goal. It was a serious goal chance, Marty, and I think there was also one for Seamus Prendergast in the first half. You know, Waterford have created a couple of other very good chances on top of the 4 they've scored, and really Paul Flynn did the right thing, but only for Tom Kenny made such a great block, a brave block. There was another ball in the back of the net.
Owen Kelly going to try and get his 5th point of the match and put Waterford back in front again. Straight over the crossbar. Owen Kelly, the man. We had Owen Kelly from Tipperary doing the business here last night. This time it's his namesake from Waterford. The fans just a little bit anxious. Looks like Tom Kenny is coming off, and Cork are going to introduce Neil Ronan, but Tom Kenny would be a huge loss at midfield because himself and Jerry O'Connor are such an integral part of this Cork hurling machine. So Neil Ronan is coming on. I can also tell you that Peter Kelly is warming up from the Erin's Own club. So Tom Kenny, who's been wearing the wrong jersey right from the beginning here this afternoon. He's listed in the programme as number 9, but he's in fact number 8. So the tuck-up comes all the way down for Timmy McCarthy. Chasing after him, Stephen Malumphry. Challenge was an illegal one, and that's going to be a free, and a little word of caution on Ken McGrath, I think, as referee Barry Kelly immediately blew his whistle. The name is written in. It's going to be a yellow card, I think, for the centre half back. Joe Dean going to take this free. Yellow card for Ken McGrath. Scorer of 4 points in this semi-final. This is going over the crossbar. Level for the 6th time after 53.5 minutes.
The quality of scores, though, Marty, is exceptional. Like, that free looked easy, but it's out in the sideline. We've only had a handful of wides in the game. It's really top class, top quality game.
Knocked down by Shane O'Neill. Added to. Ben O'Connor battling for it, so too is Timmy McCarthy. That's going to be a line ball for Waterford. "16 minutes of actual playing time left. Sides level, 24 points each on 6 separate occasions. Fine catch by Ronan Curran. Needs a little bit of support, and it's there in the form of Shane Murphy. Ball comes for Stephen Malumphey. Floats it in high, it's tailing, and it's going well wide. If you're a betting man, Michael Duignan, would you go for a draw here?
Well, they're 13-2 this morning. I had a look at it, but they're swapping scores. The momentum is changing, swinging over and back, and really it's going to be a test that, as you said already, Cork, with a few lads out suspended, brought in a few subs already, a couple of injuries. Their panel has really been stretched at the last, and it'll come down to what substitutions now can make the biggest difference. And Waterford still have Owen McGrath, maybe Brian Phelan, 1 or 2 more to come on.
Well, Brian Phelan is on, and he's replaced James Murray, the cornerback. Ken McGrath gets it onto his left-hand side and lashes it down into Cork territory. Well gathered by Owen Kelly. Paul Flynn is available, tries to hand pass into him. Here's Flynn, and Cian O'Connor did well. And Cian O'Connor took a knock. And the Cork players don't particularly like the challenge on the full back. And immediately the referee, Barry Kelly, is taking Paul Flynn aside. He says, of course, it was an accident. Cian O'Connor is not the type of player that goes down easily, so I'm sure he felt the pain of it. It could well be just a yellow card for the full forward. Barry Kelly from Oliver Plunkett's in Mullingar, last year's All-Ireland final referee, explaining that that sort of challenge is not allowed, and that is a yellow card for the
Owen Kelly
kid from Ballygunner.
Owen Kelly just left the hand pass over a bit short, and Cian O'Connor stepped in. And I think Flynn was probably committed to the pull, and it is, we didn't see it again yet, but it's probably just about a yellow card. There was a good chance there, though. Owen Kelly caught a great ball, and very good defending. Was it from Cian O'Connor in there, and again got into touch as well, so he did very well under pressure.
The free going to be taken by Anthony Nash, former under-21 and intermediate goalkeeper with Cork. And since the announcement that he'd be playing, the tickets in Kenturk and North Cork have been selling, and that's why you see such a large crowd here from that part of the world. Here in Semple Stadium, breaking ball, however, favours Owen Kelly. He's now facing the man from Kenturk. Will he score? He does! Goal number 5. Owen Kelly. Waterford fans rejoice, and once again Cork have to chase this game. The long ball came inside to Owen Kelly. He's already scored 5 points, but look at the composure. Just tucked it away and gave Anthony Nash, for the 5th occasion in Semple Stadium, no chance whatsoever to save.
Yeah, but Murphy showed his inexperience there, and just a little nudge from Kelly sent him off balance, and he was straight through. But the high balls really into the square are causing havoc on both sides. But a very good finish by Kelly, and he's very subdued. I don't mean subdued hurling wise, but he's kept his patience all day. Sometimes he gets a little bit temperamental, but he looks to have settled, as has Milan, and this Waterford team, mean business this year. They want to win in All-Ireland.
Owen McGrath is on for Stephen Malumphey at midfield. They're now surely boosted by that 5th goal, but can Cork respond? Ben O'Connor leading it inside. Here's a chance for Cork, brought down inside the large rectangle. The referee Barry Kelly has no hesitation. There's a penalty, and Waterford players protest. And are we about to see the story take another change and another chapter? 8-goal thriller so far, and thankfully another 12 minutes left in Semple. If he scores this goal, it's going to be level for the 7th time. Ben O'Connor going to take it. Gerald McCarthy talks to his management team, thinking perhaps about changes. Clinton Hennessy mans the goal line. Ben O'Connor has already scored twice in this Munster semi-final. Will he go for the goal? Will he level the tie? for the 7th occasion. Here's Ben. It's stopped. Out comes Jordine and it's cleared. Cork were just centimetres away. Gathered by Aidan Carney. Blocked by Ben O'Connor, and that's a sideline ball for Waterford.
Yeah, Dermot O'Sullivan maybe lost again there, Marty. He's taken a few penalties for them. Ben didn't look comfortable over. Lovely ball inside. Here, Kieran Murphy going for 3 goals. And just caught here, definite penalty. He seemed to slip as he was taking the ball. Just got away from him here. Looked, had to take the extra step, and he lost his momentum. And still a good save by Hennessy. A knock the ground ball, but I think Sully would have taken that if he was playing.
Waterford introduce Dennis Coffey into their team as they make changes. They're also bringing in Peter Kelly, and the player for Cork, that is, Peter Kelly, is coming on for Cian O'Connor. So a change in the full back line as well. Ken McGrath is the Crossbar's captain. Michael Brick Walsh, first Waterford captain to be selected by the management team. Normally it's been the county champions to nominate. Dropping ball. Anthony Nash comes off his goal line. Half blocked because he had to hit it with his left. Here comes John Milan. For the first time, Nash is in a spot of trouble here. Comes back outside for his own McGrath. Waterford defend, Waterford attack, Cork defend. Valiantly picked straight off the ground, and John Milan knows it just as much as everybody else here in the over 30,000 attendance. Free out for Cork. There's John Milan, watch it, there it is, straight off the ground. That change is now taking place, by the way, for Cork. Peter Kelly is coming on, and it's Cian O'Connor that's making way. Peter Kelly from Erin's Own has been an integral part of this Cork panel for a number of years. He normally plays as a half-back and never played minor or under-21 for his county. So it's a big day for him as well. But the depth of talent in Cork really being tested at this stage. High dropping ball again as Waterford come to grips with this Cork attack. Ball into no man's land because this comes first Kieran Murphy. Sending it back, but there's nobody in there with a red and white jersey. Declan Prendergast. Under a little bit of pressure, finding it difficult to give a clearance. That's a sideline ball for Cork, far side. 3 points still between the teams with 9 minutes left in this Munster semi-final. Once again, it's Ben O'Connor that's going to take this. Some statistical information divided very evenly. 50% at midfield in this Munster semi-final and 25% at either end. Justin McCarthy reflecting, is he heading for a Munster final? Cork management, Gerald McCarthy, a former teammate of Justin McCarthy in that All-Ireland winning team of 1966, trying to come up with perhaps one more master move to at least gain parity and perhaps maybe win this Munster semi-final. It's not a great ball by Ben O'Connor. Timmy McCarthy is given a fair shoulder off the ball. Ronan Curran trying to reach it. Comes down all the way for his Dan Shanahan. 2-goal hero of the first half, looking around, trying to see what's in the danger zone as he puts that over the bar. 2 goals and a point for Dan Shanahan. Not for the first time Waterford leading by 4 points, but certainly when you have 8 minutes left on the clock, it looks a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, a brilliant score by Dan. I think for Waterford here, this is huge now, the next 10 minutes. They need to win this game more than Cork. Cork have the excuse of missing all the players. Waterford don't. They have a full squad out there. If they want to win the All-Ireland, they want to win this match today and go on after that.
Owen McGrath with a hefty challenge on Timmy McCarthy. It's going to be a free for Cork. Once again, a little bit of hard exchanges here. And Timmy McCarthy coming out the worst of it. Owen McGrath going for the ball. All fit and well, and he can resume his position as the crowd look on. And at this moment, Waterford fans can enjoy it, but I'm sure they're not fully relieved until they hear that full-time whistle. 6.5 minutes left in playing time. Cork trailing by 4 points. Ben O'Connor 93 metres away from the Waterford goalposts. Will he be satisfied perhaps to just drop this in and reduce it down to 3 points and go for glory in the final 6-7 minutes for a goal? Let's see. Dropping it in over Clinton Hennessy's crossbar for his 3rd point. It's back to 3 points between the teams as Cork introduce yet another substitute, or there will be. This is Cathal Nocton will be coming on shortly. It looks like Timmy McCarthy is the player that's coming off. And Waterford will remember Cathal Nocton, because Cathal Nocton was the man who came on last year in the All-Ireland semi-final in Croke Park and scored the goal that ultimately won a place in the All-Ireland final. But can Cork regain possession here? Peter Kelly under a little bit of trouble. Part of the county championship winning side down in Erin's Own last year. Ronan Curran fouled by John Milan. That's going to be a free for Cork. This is the instant again.
Trying to get free, and I think the Waterford lads complained he was swinging back to hurl a little bit there, but you know, he was just a small arm on the shoulders, and it's a free. And now this is the danger ball again, the high ball in.
Shane O'Neill dropping this in just inside the. Oh, fabulous catch by Pat Cronin. Can he lay it off? But there's nobody there with a red and white jersey. Aidan Carney does the vacuuming up, clears it down to the far side with Owen McGrath. Under a little bit of pressure here. Still available. Comes into the centre. Cork need possession badly. That seemed to be picked off the ground, and Barry Kelly was right to blow the whistle. And it's another chance for Cork. Less than 5 minutes left. And in a game of hurling, 3 points is absolutely nothing. Once more, it's Ben O'Connor standing over the sliotar. Satisfied with a point to reduce it down to 2 points. It's its 4th point in this Munster semi-final. Cork set on that 3rd in a row Munster championship. Final place. Dropping ball again inside the Cork half of the field. John Milan chasing, pursuing, so too is Ronan Curran. Cork come away with it. Stick work of Ben O'Connor, tried to flick it up, pulled by Jack Kennedy. But winning the possession, more importantly, is Cork's Shane Murphy. Dropping this in, Clinton Hennessy underneath it. Spotted it, aimed at John Milan, but good work by Kieran Murphy, intercepting well. Sending it in low, not a great ball, but it could still work out. Here's Cathal Nocton, trying to gather. Had his little spell with the Premiership soccer team in the past, but he's a smashing hurler as well. And there's another point for Cork. You can see why Newtown Shandrum won the Cork County Championship so many times. One Munster club and won the All-Ireland. Here's another one of that wonderful contingent representing their club and their county. Cathal Nocton.
It's become such a huge part of hurling now. You know, it's all about your squad, your 2021, and having a player with his pace coming in is a huge asset to have from the sideline.
1 point between the sides, and just over 3 minutes left. John Milan going for the score, and this is over the bar to increase it to 2 points again. That's a goal and 4 points for the De La Salle clubman. It's 29 points to 27, or 5-14 to 3-18. Anthony Nash looking around at options available. Cork have to regain possession here. Barry Kelly off camera informing his linesman how many minutes left. Cork have possession. This one half blocked down, fully blocked down in fact, and picked up instead by Brian Phelan. Half back on the championship winning side of 2004. Nice little dummy by John Gardner, made a little bit of space for himself as Waterford seek the breaking ball. And they have it. Plenty of options available. One of them is Owen McGrath, younger brother of Ken, whipping across over to this side of the field. A race for possession. Dan Shanahan is there, so too is Tony Brown, goes for the point, and he smacks it over the crossbar. A smashing point by Tony Brown, and that's his second in this Munster semi-final. It's back to 3 points between Cork and Waterford. Puck out quickly taken by Anthony Nash. Where's Ben O'Connor? Referee wants it to be retaken. Anthony Nash is frustrated because, of course, there was clean possession for Cork.
What an athlete that Tony Brown is, Marty. We talked about him earlier. 33 years of age. Is there a fitter man in the country than him? It can't be.
Dropping ball, long ball from John Gardner. Cork now need a goal. Chasing this one is Joe Dean. Ken McGrath coming into challenge. It's McGrath that has possession. Waterford under a little bit of pressure here. Cleared away. Good clearance, in fact, down towards John Milan. Coming across is Ronan Curran. Can he keep it in play? Fails to do so. Sideline ball for Waterford. There's passion, there's self-belief in this man that's on your television screen, John Mullane. Cork supporters mightn't love him over there at the moment, but I think when everything calms down, they'll acknowledge that he is one of the best corner forwards.
Yeah, well, see, that's what you don't like to see. You know, there's no need. Yeah, he throws the ball into the crowd after that, but there's no need for that type of thing. You know, Ronan Curran did the right thing. He turned away and didn't get dragged into it. You know.
Waterford are introducing Shane Walsh, and the player that's going off is Paul Fled. Shane Walsh was part of the National League winning side that won the title here on this very pitch against Kilkenny. Waterford showing that they too have a depth of talent now. They have a squad rather than just a starting 15. No rush for Waterford to take the sideline cut, but just the full-time approaching rather fast at the moment. We're into injury time. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes of additional time, I believe, being added on. Peter Kelly trying to relieve the pressure here. Can Cork get an equalising goal? It's all to play for. Pulled on. Sideline ball for Cork. A minute and a half, minute and 40 seconds roughly left in this Munster semi-final. Cork need a goal. Points will be no good. Justin McCarthy about to guide Waterford to yet another Munster final.
The whole Waterford team are nearly behind the ball, Marty. It's like watching Ireland playing soccer at the moment. Mullane is back in the half-back line. They're all back there.
Comes far as Neil Ronan dropping this one in, but it's wide of the target, and with it perhaps goes Cork's chances of snatching a late equaliser.
What a championship game it's been, Marty. You know, Cork missing all the players. They're going to say, you know, what a great day for them, blooded an awful lot of players, and Waterford are going to be thrilled to go into a Munster final now, having beaten Cork again. If it, of course, there's a minute maybe left yet.
Fabulous catch by Dan Shanahan. Owen McGrath available to his right. Cork need to regain possession and quickly to have any chance whatsoever. Owen Kelly happy to delay proceedings down at this corner of the field. That goes off. Waterford man. It's going to be a puck out for Anthony Nash. 40 seconds left in the clock. 71 minutes, 24 seconds played. 26. It's all or nothing. It has to be the back of Clinton Hennessy's net. First possession won by Pat Cronin. Surely held, free in. And surely now it has to be drop it in. Too late to raise a white flag. It has to be a goal. 15, approaching just about 10 seconds left. Barry Kelly having a word with Ben O'Connor. I don't think he's going to score a goal direct from there. The word from the sideline as Donald Cusick, Diarmuid O'Sullivan, indeed Sean O'Halpine can barely watch. Cork's Munster 3 in a row about to disappear here in seconds. Cork have to get a goal. The tension is palpable. Goes for the shot, comes in and takes it, deflection off the crossbar. Comes back outside for Shane O'Neill. He needs to cross it, tries to get it in. Waterford are there in numbers. They have the possession, goes out for his own Kelly. The referee blows the full-time whistle. And centimetres deprive Cork of an equaliser as the ball came back off the crossbar. But it's Waterford and the blue and white brigade that have travelled in their thousands, that come here to Semple Stadium. The National League champions are on the voyage to a Munster title. They're in the Munster final. Whether it be Limerick or Tipperary at this moment in time, they do not care. The main thing is to beat Cork, and eventually Cork have to surrender their Munster title after an avalanche of scores that saw goals in Semple Stadium. We had an 8-goal thriller, 3:18 to 5:15, in a game that'll be talked about for a long time. Certainly the first half, and the second half might have had all the goals, but we had all the tension.
Ah, yeah, Marty, what a game. You know, we won't see another game like that in this year's championship, not for the high scoring and everything, but Waterford will be thrilled, as you say, to be in the Munster final. But what about Cork, 3:18 and get beaten, missing the players? They're going to take an awful lot out of it as well, and both these teams are going to have a huge bearing on the championship.
Well, what a second half as well. Pat Cronin goal after 46 minutes, Owen Kelly after 57, and a ball off a crossbar. Let's go down to the sideline where Ivan Niquillan is there with Justin McCarthy.
Thanks, Marty. Justin, congratulations. Another fantastic Munster Championship match. A really good one to win. A famous victory for Waterford. Were you ever so relieved to hear a final whistle?
Well, yes, no doubt. It's a tough game. We knew it was going to be very tough. That Cork would throw a kind of kitchen sink at us, and they're not going to go down lightly, obviously. So we knew it was going to be a battle, but we were ready for it.
Can you remember the last time a team put 5 goals past Cork? They were textbook goals, but I'm sure you'll agree Anthony Nash had very little chance.
Yeah, but I think both teams were attacking the ball all the time, and there's a lot of balls going up and down the field, so there was bound to be mistakes made, and a few scores got. So we just got the goals that counted.
It was an exceptionally high-scoring game as well, Justin. Does that reflect badly on the backs, or does it reflect well on the forwards?
Well, the game is so fast now. It is very hard to pin down every fella, and we've some good forwards, and they have some good forwards, and naturally enough, scores are going to happen.
Do you think Cork missed the 3 suspended players today? Do you think Cork missed the 3 suspended players today? Okay, well, I'm sure you're looking forward to the Munster final anyway.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Thanks very much, Justin.
Thank you very much, Ivan and Justin, and the crowd there just making it impossible for Justin to hear. And at full time here, a thriller in Semple Stadium that'll be talked about for a long time. It's Waterford 5-15, Cork 3-18. It was something to talk about. 30 points to 27. It's Waterford in the Munster final on the second Sunday in July. Let's go back to Michael.
Thanks, Marty. Can't hear you, don't want to hear you, I think, on that particular topic. Cyril Farrell, Tomas McCarthy here with me in studio.
You did not want to
Tomas,
hear.
can you hear me?
I can hear you, Michael. Loud and clear.
Listen to me, Tomas. You've had your issues and problems. They're well documented during the week. Cork played with pride, with passion today. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, absolutely, Michael. I mean, it's been a great weekend for hurling. It's been a great weekend for Munster hurling, and it's been a great weekend in the Cork-Waterford saga. I know there are other events going on around the country today, but you cannot beat this. 5-15 to 3-18. It's absolutely fantastic scoring for both sides, and I know defences will be disappointed conceding the amount of goals that there, but it was fantastic entertainment. I mean, we had said that the Cork team was picked last Tuesday. They had the belief in the players that they picked, and whatever happened of the last couple of days galvanised that team together, and they really gave it their all today. Okay, they came up short, but as we were saying before the match, this was the Waterford match that Waterford had to win. And when the questions were asked, and questions were asked by Cork, they really stood tall themselves as well. So you have to give credit to both sides, but I suppose give credit to Waterford. They hung on there in the end. Shave the post at the end, maybe. We were looking at maybe.
I was convinced we were headed for yet another draw in the Munster Championship.
But to be fair to Waterford, they dictated all through. They did get the goals. Cork kept in the game with some miraculous goals as well. It was a great game of hurling up and down the pitch, and I know the coach will be disappointed with the backs, but there isn't much you can do when you have real skillful forwards walking through, hand passing, and the goalies couldn't be blamed. Maybe one of the Waterford goals for half time was soft, but all those are great.
But
ones.
sure, look, wouldn't you love to see scores and that kind of flow and play in the match?
Absolutely.
Who cares about the technicalities?
It's good for entertainment. But I mean, if you're a back, the last thing, or a goalkeeper, the last thing that you want to see is the net being billowed from 14 or 15 yards.
It was tough on young Nash coming in for his first game. He couldn't be blamed, but it was a tough baptism to get. And Cork lost so many injured players. The one thing that'll stand to Cork after this, okay, they'll be disappointed. Waterford came and they did what they had to do. They won, regardless of what was going on in the Cork camp. But Cork have used a lot of players, and if they can get the injuries free now, Niall McCarthy off injured ankle, Tom Kenny, they're all they look bad enough injuries. They could still be a force coming out of the round robin. But Waterford proved that their league win, they've gone on from there, and themselves and Kilkenny are the two top teams at the moment.
Could be a force, will be a force, I've no doubt about that. Stay with us here on the Sunday Game Live. More coming up after this commercial break. Back here at Semple Stadium in Thurles, we have just seen Waterford qualify for the Munster Hurling final. Let's have a look at the stats from that game. And I suppose for Waterford fans, the most important ones are up at the top there. They've beaten Cork by 5 goals and 15 points to 3 goals and 18 points. Enough scores there to do a couple of matches. Possession pretty much even, Stephen, around the pitch in both the first half and the second half. You see the scoring chances there as well. Plenty of scores, plenty of scoring chances, obviously. The wides more for Cork than for Waterford, and just 4 yellow cards in a very entertaining match. Tomas McCahey and Cyril Farrell still with me here in studio. Cyril, Cork got back into the game. They were down at half time. They conceded 4 goals in the first half, and they got a goal back to put them right back in the match in that second half.
Yeah, they needed this goal because Waterford were still kind of dictating the pace, but Park Cronin got into it. The Waterford defence was under as much pressure as Cork, by the way. Like John Gardner here, long ball, it comes in high, and you'd imagine how they're going to do it. They all go up, and Park goes back, just gets on the break, and it's like slow motion. He just gets to it and fixed on the ground. There's nothing the goalie can do. But look at they're all ball watching, breaks them, and he just creeps in under the body here, like of Clinton Hensey. But both sets of
a little bit like that today.
both sets of full back lines. We're talking about the Cork full back line, but the Waterford back line, Justin won't be happy with him either for letting them kind of goals in, because like Waterford scored enough to win any match, and yet they were holding on at the end.
Sure, yeah. Dan the man, he did it again, Tomas.
Yeah, Dan has a big habit of popping up in the right place at the right time, and today when you saw the ball coming through, I mean, it was a ball that maybe normally the fullback would actually bat out and stuff like that. And the ball was left running behind, and there he was to pick it up, and no better man in that position. And I mean, that was a tonic that Waterford needed as well,
Yeah, and then Owen Kelly's goal was just the one that I suppose really kind of put the icing on the cake.
Yeah, no doubt about that again. And I mean, they have big men, physically strong men, and all over the field. And here we see it. Look at the high ball that's coming in. Cian O'Connor goes to bat it, like whether it's played in the hurling or not by Paul Flynn, but this is Owen Kelly's goal, and I mean that's a great touch,
Great score,
I mean, first touch is brilliant. He travels well.
Sharpness a great little flick, like he's no chance.
Everything is on his mind there. Just put the ball inside to the back of the net, and it was a tonic score for Waterford. And I mean, they have big leaders around the field. I mean, we like all the pressure was on Waterford today because people were saying that, I mean, okay, Cork would throw everything at them, but the pressure is on Waterford. They had to win this game today, and in fairness to them, they didn't let themselves down. I mean, they played very, very well. They actually had big men in key positions, centre forward, half forward, stood up to it, the task, and I mean, 5-15 is a great scoring.
But I suppose, in fairness, Earl, the chances were there for Cork. They had a penalty that was saved in that second half.
Yeah, and then Ben O'Connor went up to it, and Ben is a good free taker, but he wasn't. When you look, his body language didn't kind of show you that he was really going to belt it hard. Like here again, like Cork were hunting in packs away, cutting right through. And this has been a little hand pass inside here on to Niall McCarthy. Cuts back inside and he's tumbled here.
Clare Murphy, actually.
Murphy.
Yeah. And I mean, that's it. I think about the penalty, sir, was that like normally the penalty taker for Cork was David O'Sullivan.
Yes.
I'd say even here there's in two minds who was actually physically.
But I thought Tomas might bring up the goal because he has a terrible hard shot. What's been like
that's Paul Flynn step up.
Just hits it. It's well saved, but it isn't. Ben won't be like he hits it off the ground even his shuffle on his feet. The ball comes up too high. It doesn't come. A lot of the striking. A lot of people think he's striking the ball. It's actually the rise of it. If the ball comes up right, you can follow through on it. It just came up too high, and he was shuffling his feet before he hit it at all. So like it wasn't one of his special ones. Like,
no, it was. In fairness, you could see there it was just kind of moving away.
The first pick was put him in trouble. He didn't get any power into the shot.
But he still had a great game now. Like he was still very vital to Cork. Like got great scores, and some of his free taking was beautiful. Just lovely little wrist, kind of floats him over the bar. Still a great player.
So, Tomas was on deck as the rosary here. It was still a possibility right to the last.
Tomas never showed the red flag at all, Michael. He kept saying, a goal is going to come, a goal is going to come.
Yeah, I mean, they threatened a lot all day, They were good under high ball. And here, look, this is it's maybe the winner take all here, and it's a great shot. It comes back off the crossbar, And I suppose at the stage when it comes back in again, it's cleared and
that's it.
The final whistle's going at that stage. I mean, I'm giving great credit to Cork, Michael, on the basis of what has gone on all week. They kept focused on the job in hand. The players that were out there gave their all, and they can ask for any more. I think they'll take a lot of positives over that.
Tomas, to be fair to Waterford, I know whoever lost will lose the game, but I think Waterford has more to lose today than Cork. Cork will come in and have these lads missing. They could kind of fall back in that. I know they won't, but they can. Whereas if Waterford lost today with Cork 3 All-Stars missing, they'd be kind of saying, is this Waterford team ever going to come? But like they won the league. You saw what happened to Donegal today, like in the football, won the league, were as flat as pancakes today. Waterford are driving on, they have improved, their panel definitely has improved, and they seem to be, like they're definitely up there in the top 2.
It has, but once again, I mentioned him a moment ago, you looked at fellas like Dan Shanahan, you looked at fellas like John Milan, obviously Tony Brown, they scored 3, for me, inspirational points in that second half.
I mean, Tony Brown has been fantastic all year. He's been hurling out of his skin, and he's playing the right half-back position again. Here's Dan again. This is an inspiration point, and like Dan, when you're on top, and he's getting the scores. I mean, this
he rises the crowd as well. Like the whole thing,
it's a fantastic
whole
score.
place gone wide at this stage.
And again, it's a breaking ball inside here again, I think, and I mean, it's a touch inside, and it's John Milan, who had a fantastic game today. He looked very, very busy today. Looked very, very hungry for the ball. And when you look at a man in the right position, no better than Tony Brown. Fantastic score, and there were 3 quality points to put him that 3 points ahead in the closing minutes. So great credit to Waterford.
And Shannon, you just can't stop smiling. How are you feeling after that match?
Not too bad. It's a good win. I'm not going to get carried away. Like, you know, it's a Munster semi-final. Like, you know, we're in another Munster final. That's what we want to do. The League One, Munster Cup was a like that. So hopefully we can take a step, go that way. Like, you know, it's going to be a hard tip with Limerick after Titanic battle. Like, you know, so hopefully you never know on the day.
It's a tough match, very competitive. Can you remember the last time it was played such a fast game?
No, it's just intense stuff. There was scores after score. Like, you know, so. We work hard on training. If you work hard on training, you get the rewards. Like, and we're capable of getting goals. We know we are. We had forced to do it. But today we did it. Like, Cork never gave up. The three boys were a factor, I suppose. But I'm not going to go into detail about that. But we won, and that was the main thing.
Did you think Cork missed the three lads in defence, especially the goalkeeper?
I don't know. I thought there were 5 quality goals, to be honest, that went in there. I don't know with him much. But if Sullivan was in front of him, maybe the gaps wouldn't have been there. But I don't know. But
was it on your mind when you saw the goal opening up?
Oh, I just hit it instant, like, you know, so you just hit it and hope for the best after that. Like, it's about 2 millimetres away from John Milan on the backside, but I didn't worry about that. Like, he'd deflected in, and I don't mind who scores once we win.
Looking forward now to the Munster final. Who would you like to see in the Munster final?
Doesn't really matter. We're not going to say Tip or Limerick now, I don't know, but they're two different teams. Limerick are a big physical team, and they have their small, fast forwards. Tip, we know Tip from old, like, you know, they're brilliant, and it's nice to relax and watch them now next Saturday evening and bat it out again, like, you know.
Will you go down for a little sneak preview?
Might actually, Limerick's a bad place to get out of traffic wise, so I don't know, but well, hopefully if Limerick or Tip, we don't mind, like, you know, so.
Okay. Good man, Dan. Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Well, the RTE Sunday game man of the match goes to a man who has plenty of experience in leading Waterford to famous victories. John Milan, congratulations. Tell us first of all, that was a tough battle. What does it mean to you when beating Cork today?
I don't know, what is it with Cork Waterford games? Just another epic there today, and we're lucky to get over the line, you know.
Did you think that it was a tough battle in terms of the Munster Championship?
Absolutely. I mean, there's critics out there saying that the Munster Championship is dead, but looking at them 2 games last night and today, by no means the Munster Championship is dead. I'm glad to say that it's alive and well, and we'll go on to the Munster final and we'll take it from there.
High scoring game, a lot of hearts in mouths during that. What was it like to play in?
Absolutely. It was I know last game's Limerick and Tipperary's game was a mad game, but that was just even more madder, you know. I mean, we go down and get a score, and Cork get a score, and you know, we just happen to get the scores at a critical stage in the end there, you know.
What's that going to mean now to the people of Waterford?
It means a lot to Waterford people, you know. I suppose, you know, we haven't beaten Cork in three years in a competitive game, you know, and you know, we needed to win that game today, you know, and the people back home will be delighted, you know.
Who do you fancy now next week in that replay?
Any of them, you know. We know it's going to be equally as tough, you know, and if we play the way we played today, you know, I don't think it'll be good enough because them scores, you know, I don't think Tipperary and Limerick will allow us score what we scored today, you know. I don't think it'll be good enough, you know.
So what will you've learned from today then?
Well, I suppose we've learned a lot, you know. I suppose we've learned a lot over the league, you know. I suppose a game of hurling, you know, goes down to the last 5-10 minutes, you know, and it goes on to about 72-73 minutes, so you know, you just have to keep going to the end, you know.
Having said that, you had far fewer wides than Cork. Something like 9 or 10 to 3.
Absolutely, you know, it makes a change. I suppose other weeks, you know, we'd clock up at 17 or 18 wides, but you know, it makes for a change today that we got in between the sticks, you know.
You did. Well done, John.
Thanks.
Congratulations. Well done. Okay. Gerald, first of all, can I get your reaction to that match? Because Cork aren't used to losing Munster Championship matches.
No, it was a magnificent match. We were on the wrong side of a 3-point defeat in a very high-scoring game, but it was a magnificent game of hurling. Tough, hard. It wasn't that scores are easy to come by out there. It was more the fact that the players, both sets of forwards, really set about cutting up and carving up the defences to create some good scores. We're very disappointed. Our players in the dressing room are shattered right now, but you know, we blooded a lot of new players to the Munster Championship today, and they'll be much better players on the strength of that.
Happy with your substitutes then, the 3 lads that came in. Can we expect to see more of them?
Well, certainly I think these are players that you're going to see a lot of in the future too. Yeah, they're very young lads, and as I say, experience may have caught us a little bit in certain situations there today, but you only gain experience by being involved in it and learning from it, and these players certainly will.
Just looking back in the last 3 weeks, you've gone through a gruelling disciplinary system now. Given the results today, what do you make of that disciplinary system? The CCC, the CHC, the DRA?
I don't think players are getting justice from this system at all. How can you get justice from a system, Ivan, that first of all meets in haste, cites suspensions on 8 players without a chance to defend themselves. It's very difficult for afterwards for anybody to try to turn over a committee decision. There was a hearings committee and then there was an appeal system. But the CCC committee met on the Tuesday after the game. We didn't get justice finally until last night, and it was a grueling 3 weeks, and our players following that decision last night, even if they got the go-ahead, they were in no fit condition to play because of the delay. We had an appeals meeting fixed for last Wednesday night, and our players were in transit to that appeals when it was called off by the GA. That was an absolute disgrace, I believe, that players were treated like that. The GA called it off because they said that one member of the CCC committee could not attend that night. The hearings committee that were hearing it, some of them were actually in transit from Derry and Leitrim and places like that, as we were from Cork. And to get a phone call at 3 o'clock in the day to say the hearing is off, and it was put back to Friday night. And as it transpired, that same member could not attend again on Friday night, but somebody else did. I'm asking the question, why could they not have got 2 members to defend their case on the Wednesday night?
Did you make that case to the GAA?
I did make the case to Nicky Brennan, the president. I rang Nicky, and I must say I'm very disappointed with his curt, short reply to that. I'm very disappointed for the players.
When you say the players didn't get to defend themselves, did they not get to defend themselves at the first hearing, the CCCC?
No, Ivan, the CCC committee proposed a month's suspension on the players without even naming them. Now, if you want to challenge the press to anything, you certainly don't issue a challenge to the press to go away and find out who these players are. It transpires that these players are not named by the CCC committee, but certainly the media named them very, very quickly for everybody. And our players then stood to either accept the month's suspension or to fight it. So they looked for a hearing then. And that was the first chance I had got to put their case, but at that stage they had a month's suspension hanging over their heads, and it's very, very hard to get any other committee appointed by Croke Park to overturn a decision of a committee already made. You're in an appeal situation almost immediately without the players having the chance to defend themselves. No, that's not justice to me. They need to look at it. If the GA are serious about cutting out indiscipline, and let me point out, Ivan, the Cork side of things, and I apologise for what happened that day, which I did at the appeal meeting. It shouldn't have happened, and we're sorry, and for our part that was played in it, but it certainly wasn't as serious as some of the incidents we've seen on television. The GA are hiding behind the referee dealing with situations. If the GA are serious about cutting out indiscipline in games, they certainly should look at incidents and suspend where necessary. Cork are proud of their record. Cork had 1 player sent off in championship hurling in the last 40 years. That is some record. And that stood for nothing when the CCC sat down to move these players for suspension. It's very disappointing.
Okay, George, thanks very much for your time.
Yes, indeed, Colm. This was probably one of the most thrilling games that I've seen, and certainly the first half in particular will never be forgotten. All the talk about disciplinary action and all the headlines during the week, and finally it was concentrating on the most important game of all, one of the best games in the world, the game of hurling. And 8 goals and 33 points gives an idea of what this game was like, and a crossbar deprive Cork of an equaliser in the 3rd minute of injury time, and that's just a snapshot of what happened here in Semple Stadium. Well, joining me now is former All-Star Tony Brown. Tony, National League champions, you had to win this. There was a lot of talk about Cork missing so many players. How did you find it difficult to focus all week?
No, not really, Marty, because after the league final, we really started to focus on the championship, and we knew coming down here that, Cork is they're a fantastic team. They've proved it over the last couple of years, and we definitely knew we were up against it. So we had a lot of work put in, and, it was great to win the league, but championship is what it's all about.
Beating Cork and losing to them last year in that heartbreaking All-Ireland semi-final, from your perspective, obviously this was a big one for you in terms of psychological preparation for the championship.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Cork are a great team. They've been there the last 5-6 years, and for us to beat them in championship is
it's a big confidence for us. But at the end of the day, it's only the first round of the championship, and there's a lot more to come. You know, Limerick and Tipperary put up a fantastic game again yesterday, and you know there's only going to be a puck of a ball between us, whoever comes out with that game too.
Well, you've played a major part, and well done today, and a wonderful victory. And we look forward to the Munster final. It'll be Waterford against the winners of Tipperary and Limerick. That replay is going to take place next weekend. And as you can see, all the people from Lismore seem to be here still at Central Stadium.